fly round. So we're just approaching this junction now. We're going left, so obviously we're going to indicate. We're going to come to the crown of the road to give us the maximum amount of room to turn left. And we're going to observe left and right, or right first and left. There's nothing coming, and off we go. Now we're going to take it easy on the crest of this hill in case we meet someone in the middle of the road, and we're clear to do so. Coming up to a right hand turn, I can see there's a lorry sat on the road, so there might be somebody on the wrong side of the road passing it as we come up to the giveaway line. We'll just check it on the observation. No, nothing coming to do so. I see a car just turn right, but it's not going to affect us. It's over the white line. I don't quite know what that's all about, but we did brake a little to let him pull in there. We're going left here again. We're just going to give an observation. There's nothing coming right and left. Few obstructions on the other side of the road. You've got to be wary of cars that may be passing that and are indeed on the wrong side of the road. Nice and steady, because we've got these speed bumps here and quite potholed roads, so although this is a 30 limit, we're not really going to go above 20, and we're going to avoid these potholes and smash the car up. Right, what have we got? One pedestrian, pretty clear. Lights are just going to red, and we're going to take a left turn here. We're going to stay in the middle a little bit there to dodge some of those potholes, the worst of them, and pull up nicely. Nice and gently, there's no rush. Traffic's fairly light, a bit of a rush through there because they were on green. Obviously these lights, filter lane's going to go in a minute. We've observed there's nothing, well, there's no obstruction behind us, left and right to go, so we're off. We're not going to indicate because we're at the front of the line and it's left turn lane only. Okay, accelerating gently. I can see a bus pulling up. Make sure there's no cars behind it going to pull out in front of me. That minute's just pulled out from my right. None of that was really any problem. Pedestrian to the left there. There's a van waiting to turn right from the junction ahead of me, and I'm going to let him go actually, because I've got a feeling the lights are on red at the top of the hill. He thanks me and we're away, and we've not really lost anything with the traffic in front of us. Like I said, we're coming to a stop now anyway, so there was no harm in being courteous. And we're just going to sit nicely between the curb and the white line here. If you notice, that chap in front of us got to get ahead type, just gone on the wrong side of the road, merely to pull up two cars later, as you can see. Didn't want to sit here, he's had to jump out the wrong side of the road to get ahead two cars and stop again at the red light. It's a bit pathetic really, but when you come in the opposite way as this traffic is, you've got to watch people doing that. I met one or two on the wrong side of the road. Anyway, the lights have gone to green. This chap's obviously impatient behind me, and we're going to hit this pothole. Yep. And he's had to jump out on the wrong side of the road to overtake a queue. We did the relevant observations. They're too busy talking about him doing it. As you can see, he's got one car ahead from behind me. He's on the brakes there in the line of traffic. We're just going to drop it down into fourth here. It's an automatic. Slight dab of the brakes. We're going to run away down this hill, so we just want to keep it at the speed limit, which as you can see is 40. This sign saying the flood's been here for a while. I've never seen a flood here. Anyway, we're going to come into 30 now. We're going to let the car naturally slow down. Of course, we are allowed, you don't have to hit the brakes like a pit lane speed limiter and do 30 as soon as you hit the sign. You are allowed to, I forget the sort of the distance you're allowed to slow down in, but put it this way, they can't put a speed trap straight after the speed limit sign change. Anyway, we've come to a stop now. There's obviously a road sweeper cleaning up, they're doing some building work, so a lot of mud on the road. Checking relevant observations when we pull off. Obviously I'm not going to keep saying that, traffic coming from my right, so we're going to give way. It's clear after this van. and we're just going to gently pull out. No need to accelerate wildly because, as I say, we're not going anywhere. And we're going right around the roundabout, so we're going to give an indication staying to the near side so that cars can pass to the left if they're turning left in, like that chap's doing. He didn't keep to the left, but he didn't indicate to exit the roundabout. And this chap in the road sweeper was busily indicating right whilst turning left there. And we're going to cancel the right and immediately come over to the left and indicate we're turning left. There's a traffic car coming behind me, so, and he's not come this way, and we'll pull off again. Okay, so that was all very busy, but we took it all in, we noted virtually all of it, and we're away again. Now, nice and steady down here, it's 30, we're doing the speed limit, my speedo says 32, but I know that it overreads, and that is really 30 as you can see. So, traffic's fairly light, car following me, but he's got his distance, nothing pulling out from the right. And we're going to go downhill again now, so we're going to come off the gas and let the car just roll down of its own accord. There's a car appearing from the right, emerging from the right, and he's gone. I think he's going to hold us up, so we're drop down into fourth for a bit of deceleration. And he's speeded up, so we're okay. We're now going to drop down into third to stop the car running away. Again, it's a heavy car, it's automatic, it will run away. So I haven't been on the gas for the last quarter of a mile now. I haven't touched the brakes. We're going to put it back into drive, put the cruise control back onto 30. This chap's braking there, not sure why, perhaps he was going over 30. Anyway, we're keeping a distance, nothing emerging from the right. Just over this hill, we're going to knock cruise control off now, use the hill to slow down a little bit to just under 30. See there's a bus coming the other way. Is there anything emerging from the left? Traffic? No. This chap's probably braking on the approach to it. We're just going to potholes, nothing to our left, so no major deal. We don't drive in the gutter like this chap's doing there. We don't want to pick up punches or unnecessarily scare pedestrians, even though there are none about. Again, potholes, missed the worst of them. And this chap's now doing 25. I'm not sure why he's not maintaining progress, because there's no reason he can't do so. I can see a pedestrian on the left, but he's no problem, nothing coming from the left. The traffic ahead look, stopping for an obstruction, so we're just going to gently brake. And we are going to give an indication to move out, even though that vehicle didn't do so. I've moved to the crown of the road to get the best possible vision past the obstruction. This lady's indicating, and it's clear to do so. I can see past the car, so we're going to move out. No, we don't take all of the road while doing so, there's no need to do so, and we're going to maintain a nice lane here. You don't drive by the gutter, you drive by the white line. Anyway, we're going left here. We're going to indicate briefly like this lady is. There's nothing coming from the right, so we're not going to stop, and then we're going to cancel the indication immediately because there's an immediate left turn and we don't want anybody to think we're going left there. So, carrying on, there's traffic coming. I can see a reflection in the shop window on the right. There was vehicles coming. This chap is not going to press the pedestrian button. We are going to the middle of the road to miss this pothole. That car came round, plenty of time to get back in again. He wasn't there when I pulled out. We could have soon pulled in. Again, we're maintaining a nice line on the road. I don't know why this chap is going so slow. Perhaps he's I don't know, perhaps he doesn't know the area, or he's just not a very good driver. There's no reason he can't do 30 anyway. One car behind me, a couple of bus lengths behind, obstruction on the left here. No need to indicate here because I'm just going to pull to the white line, and as there's no one in the van that's going to open the door, we can pass it safely closely even with the oncoming traffic. We're not on the wrong side of the road. I think these lights are going to go to red before we get there? Yes, I've anticipated that, that's why we didn't speed up. And we've just gently come to a halt. Stayed possessing both lanes a little bit there just to avoid the potholes. I can do that. The car behind me was going right. I wasn't stopping his progress or confusing him. So, traffic car there. Don't see them very often. And these lights are going to change in a bit, so we've done our observations, we're safe to be pulled off. And we're just going to look through the junction, make sure no one comes through on red. And when you're ready, no need to indicate because that's a right turn lane only, we're at the front. We're going to keep to the left because we're going to the left. We'll just observe it's a filter lane. We're just going to pinch a bit there to miss that pothole, no problem with that. I'm going to look to my right as I go through, make sure there's no pedestrians, traffic coming through on red. And gently accelerate from 30 through to 40 as the limit changes. Speed wipe, bit of sun on the screen there. Turn the air conditioning off, not steamed up now. Keep a distance to the car in front. We're not quite doing 40, but whatever. You know, I have actually been pulled up before for going too slow. The doctor told me there was no reason I couldn't do the speed limit and I needed to go faster. So it does happen. Anyway, we're approaching some traffic lights, so I'm just going to ease off here, save the brakes, gentle braking. This is pothole. Lights are on green, but I've got a feeling again they're going to change by the time we get there, and yes, they did. So nice and gentle possession of the lane in between the curb and the white line. And the reason we stop, leaving a gap, well, you should be able to see the tyres on the road, that's what they say, because if this chap breaks down in front of us, we can now pull around him. If we pull right up to the back of him, we ain't going to be able to pull out from behind him. So, I can see the traffic's heavy turning in the left turn lane for the retail park. Usual thing here, you just got to watch. People might jump out of the lane, get bored with waiting, but there is 2 lanes with a filter lane to turn left, so if we have to keep to the right to avoid anything, we will do. The filter lane's gone for the right turn, traffic coming from my left, and traffic to my left's already on green, so I knew these lights were going to go to green, already observed all of that, and we're away. Now I can see the traffic is, I don't know where she's going, but we're just going to neatly do that, and we're going to stay in the outside lane here. We're not a learner driver, we're not in a rush, don't drive in a rush, but we can make progress. There was 3 cars in that lane and 1 here, so we'll blend in. It's 2 lanes coming down to 1 now. We kept a distance from the car in front. Just watching the traffic come through. Now it's going to change for the traffic coming from the right in a minute, then it's our turn. The chap to the left of me thinks I'm mad because I'm talking to myself, but whatever. Got to be careful here because it is 2 lanes changing to 1, and a lot of people will argue it or try and gain advantage. And we're going to change nicely now, see what this car does. No, we're slow off the mark. Can we get past this man with a bit of speed? Yes, and we will accelerate into the gap, ease off and follow, centrally occupying the lane. Defensive driving, not allowing anybody to come alongside us in the same lane. And nice and steady. Now the lights are on red, as you can see. No pedestrians, no obstructions ahead. We're going to stay in the outside lane again. maintain a position because the lights have changed now and there's a lot of traffic turning left here for Sainsbury's, so we don't want to unnecessarily brake or have to stop. Again, we're not in a rush. Look, I've got a feeling these lights are going to go to red any second now because we've been on green a while, and I'm just keeping an eye on this BMW behind me to my left wants to not let me in, so we'll just let him go. We're not going to argue with him. You know what BMW drivers are like. Look, he was putting his foot down, and we're just going to blend behind him like that. There's nothing behind us there. If I'd have carried on, I've got a feeling he was going to get a touch of the red mist there and insist I didn't drop him in front of him, so whatever. You see the lights ahead are on red. Changed to green now. I think we might get through these because it's quite a long cycle. However, obviously we'll drive accordingly. Nothing behind me as far as I can see for about half a mile. There's nobody turning right from the oncoming traffic, dropping down to 30, which we're now doing anyway. We're going to stay in the near side lane, anticipate the lights changing. There's now traffic turning right. It's not turning rather. The next set are on red, and there's a learner driver in this queue, so I've got a feeling we're going to be pretty slow going here, but there is 4 cars to the offside, and if one of those is turning right, we'll get stuck behind him anyway. And as I say, we're not in a rush, so we'll wait. We're quite patient. I can see that BMW's on the brake lights trying to merge again there. There's 2 lanes back to 1. Nothing coming through the junction, no obstructions. I'm not going to let this chap turn right because there is nothing behind me, so there's no point in stopping to let him go when he can go now anyway, and it's just